Hey, what's going on, Smart Money community? Hope you guys are doing well. Great to see you guys again. And if you're on YouTube, welcome YouTube. And today we're talking about the pinnacle of poverty. From the pits of poverty to the pinnacle of freedom is what we're talking about today. Now, what does that mean? Hey, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you've been trying to get out of debt for, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, your whole life, if you got that first credit card while you were in college and they gave you a free burrito for it, and you're still paying it off, this is for you. We're going to talk about the 5 myths that are keeping you stuck and how to create freedom in your life. All right, but I want to share this with you guys here. So, most people think, here, I'm going to show my whiteboard. Most people think, Jen, that minimum payments, you got minimum payments you're paying to your cards a month, or you're paying down your debt every month. Most people think the cost of borrowing money or the cost of debt is what they pay back each month.
Yep.
Right. And so, but I submit to you right now, the cost of your debt is not what you're paying back each and every month.
Yeah, that's only the top layer.
Yeah, that's the top layer here. And so I want to show you guys this formula here. Show you so what we got here is we got TD, which stands for total debt at current interest rate equals how much debt you're paying per year. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so let's just say, for example, let's pick a number here. I mean, we'd work with people all the time that have 6 figures in debt, but let's not use that example. That's high. There's certain people that, may have a credit card or so, but maybe let's go in the middle here. Let's use maybe $50,000. So total debt at, and we'll use a kind of middle ground interest rate. Some people are paying 29%, 21%, all that stuff here, but let's go down. Let's call it 15%. And if you can you pull out your calculator? I'll get you to do the math on your calculator for me here. If we got $50,000 at 15%, what does that equal a year?
$7,500.
$7,500. And so $7,500, or what is that a month? About $625 a month, I believe that comes to.
Yep, $625.
Okay, so $7,000 a year. Or we could say brackets $625 a month. Now, $625 a month isn't, let's be honest, for most people, that's not a ton of money. When you think about it, it's a good chunk of change. But when you think about it, most car payments are around that now.
Yeah.
When you combine your internet, your cell phone, your TV, your your lights and your heat, you're paying about $625 a month. Food costs more than that these days. Your rent or your mortgage is way higher than that these days. And so a lot of us could kind of look past this and say, oh, it's only $625. It's the way of life, whatever. And we'll go here and we'll spend, $625 a month, $7,025 a year. Here, let me see if I can get this down here. And what happens is over 1 year, so, and then what we want to do here is we want to take let's look back over the last, how many years you've been in debt. For some people, that's been 5 years. For others, it's been 10. For others, it's been 15. For others, it's been 20, 25. So you got to do the math based on where you're at. But let's average this out over 7 years, just to give a short-term example. This would be a great short-term. Let's say 7 years, 7,500 times 7 is what?
$52,500.
52,500?
Yep.
So over 7 years, you're paying $52,500. And by the way, this is minimum. This is minimum payment. Some of us might be doing more here, but this is kind of if you just rock the minimum. Now, I know most people don't intend to do the minimum, but what happens is over time, guess what? Life happens, and we a lot of times default back to minimums, because a lot of times as humans we live at the edges of our boundaries. Anyways, that's a whole nother talk, but 52,500. So most people look at this, say over 7 years, my cost is 52,500. Yeah, that seems like a lot, but it's only $625 a month. But I submit to you, the real cost is not 52,500. That is not the real cost to this problem here. The real cost to this here is what has this money, 625, what has this missed out on over the last, each and every month over the last 7 years? That's
Yeah.
possibly the real cost here. And so if I share this screen with you guys here, let's see if I can do this. Where are you? I've got so many screens going on here. There we go. Boom. Can you see the retirement calculator?
Yep.
Okay, good. There we go. Let's do it this way. Boom. All right. So from age 30 to 37, let's just call it, you know, you're 30 years old, nothing retirement, 625 at 12% comes to $81,670.
Yeah.
And so this is what you've paid. If you invested again at 12%, we talk about that all the time, how to do that. The real cost here would have been, you know, had you had that money working for you, if I can get my thing to work here. Hold on here. Let me see if I can get this to work. What's going on? There we go. All right. Let's see if we can get this to work for me now. $81,670.
Yeah.
Most people say, well, then the real cost of borrowing is $81,670. But I submit to you, the real cost is not $52,500. The real cost is not $81,670. Here's the real cost to borrowing money. If you take that 625 from age 30 all the way to 65, and you invest that, you know, average 12%, which very easy to do over long term, the real cost to you borrowing money is over $4 million.
Boom.
Boom. You're like, Mike, what do you mean $4 million? Well, here's the problem is most people don't pay off their debt in 7 years. With the myths that people believe, with the myths that people fall into, we continue the cycle of debt for our lifetime. And for some of us, the cost monthly is more than $600. Actually, for the majority of us, it's more than $600 a month. Add up your car payments, add up your minimum payments on your credit cards, you know, lines of credits, whatever you have here. This is the real cost. And so we average it out at 625 over the next 30 to 35 years. The real cost is at $4 million, not $625 a month. And so the truth is, what happens here, if you want to go from the pits of poverty or the pits of struggle, whatever it is for you, whether you're struggling, overwhelmed, the pits of fear, you know, and stress, to the pinnacle of freedom, there's 5 myths that are literally costing you, in this example, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in your 40s or your 50s and you're watching this, this has cost you millions of dollars. But the good news is it's not too late to still get back and win. But you got to do it now.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to continue to cost you. And you saw that example there, $625 a month over 30 years, 35 years, over $4 million. And so there's 5 myths that we've fallen into as a society, as a culture, that is really holding us back. And it's not benefiting you to be believing these myths, but it's benefiting the banks and many others for you to believe these myths.
Yeah.
And so grab that pen and paper and let's talk about how to get out of the pit of poverty, the pit of overwhelm, the pit of fear, the pit of stress, whatever you're at that you don't want to be, and get you to the pinnacle of freedom where you never have to worry about money ever again, if you choose to do this and walk with this the right way. So number 1, car payments. Let's talk about car payments, Jen. What do you know about car payments?
Oh, car payments. Well, I know that they keep you stuck. I know that they're expensive. And the term of time of car payments has grown from an average of 3 to 4 years to now you can pay a car for 7 to 8 years. Nuts.
7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is huge.
It is huge.
3 to 4
That's
years.
a lot of bondage.
That's a lot of bondage. And what's the average car payment right now? About $500 for new, I believe, and about $450-ish around that ballpark used. So we're so close to that number we just showed.
Yeah.
And the fact that the average car payment is 7 years, that a first example, 51,000 ish, I forget what 51,000 and just above that, $51,000 is what people are paying for that car,
Yeah.
or what it's cost people to not have that money invested for them in that car here. So what do we do here? How do we get out of the car payments? How do we, like, what are people supposed to do with this?
Yeah. I dare to throw out there, Mike, that used cars are
Oh,
on trend.
really? They're so unreliable.
What? What are you driving?
I'll have to get a repair every 2 months. $2,000 repair every 2 months if I buy a
Good
used
Lord.
car. Jen, they're so unsafe.
No.
I've got Johnny and Susie who are bubble wrapped, and we need a brand new Lexus because without a brand new Lexus, they're just unsafe.
Yeah. Survey says that's a lie.
Surveys say that's a myth. Such a myth.
Yeah.
Truth is, guys, used cars I've been driving used cars my whole life.
Yep.
And outside of now, you got to find good, used, reliable cars. Not
Yes.
just any used car. You got to do your due diligence and find some good, used, reliable cars.
Yeah.
Two top cars driven by millionaires. You know what they are? The two car brands driven by millionaires.
I'm gonna go with Honda and Toyota.
Honda and Toyota, not a Lexus, not a BMW, not a Ferrari. Honda and Toyota. Those are the two cars I have in my garage. I've been driving those cars used for years. I've bought those cars many times. And I'm telling you right now, the repairs are very small.
Yeah.
They are great cars. Solid.
Absolutely. Especially when you stay up on them, right? Like you stay up on the repairs, you maintain your cars. It ends up being cheaper because if you leave an $800 repair, it turns into a $4,000 repair, right? If you leave a $200 repair, again, 10 times.
Turns into a $2,000 repair.
Yeah, exactly. Used cars are great, right? And avoid the payments. Like save up, pay cash, you get a better deal, you save yourself money, and then you don't have those payments. You free up those hundreds of dollars every single month.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, guys. You might be saying, well, Mike, I'm in the car payment, so there's nothing I can do for 7 years. There's always something you can do. So if you want to break this cycle of living car payment to car payment, here's what you do. Go borrow the difference from what you owe to what the car's worth. Hopefully you're not upside down on it. Borrow the difference. Go sell the car, borrow the difference. So what you owe versus what you can sell it for. Some, maybe it's even. Some cars now are above what you owe on them. Used cars have gone up in value, oddly enough. That's not normal. But I know a lot of people selling cars for more than they paid for them. So whatever your situation is, maybe you can sell it for more, maybe you can sell it for what you paid for, you break even, maybe you can only sell it for less than what you paid for. Sell it for what you can sell it for, borrow the difference if you have to. Plus, I would say borrow a little bit more, maybe about $5,000 more. Go buy yourself a used, reliable car, and then start putting those $600 payments a month now into some sort of savings account that will grow and allow you to pay cash for your next used, reliable car in about 5 to 6 years. You save $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. 6, 12, 24, 30,000 in 5 years. That's $30,000. If I did the math right, which I think I did. That's $500 a month. Saved it for 5 years. Heck, 300, check this out. If you do this, I'm doing this right now. Actually, we got a ETF we're buying here that allows us to, it's making, on average about 12%. And so for 5 years, watch this out, watch this. Actually, we'll do this 1 to 6, $300, zero saved, $300 a month, 12%, $24,000. So every 5 years, I can now buy myself a $24,000. But here's the thing: $24,000 car. That's a decent car.
Yeah.
But what if I said what if I only bought a $10,000 car, and I saved $14,500? And I ran this math for another 5 years. So 5 years from now, I've got 24,500. I take 10 out. I buy another. I upgrade. I sell my car for, maybe $3,000. I have $10,000 cash. So I pay $13,000 for a really nice used reliable car. I save about 14,500 in the account. I continue to put $300 a month in there, 12% average return. 5 years later, I've now got $50,000.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm upgrading. I'm going to go buy a $25,000 car, sell my car for, I don't know, let's call it $3,000. Okay. So now I've got $28,000 for a car. Okay. This account's now at $25,000. Rinse and repeat for another 5 years. And now you can buy yourself a Tesla. Joking. Totally joking. But you see how this works. This is how you start to pay cash for cars for life. Every 5 years, get yourself a nice, decent, reliable car. And over time, as you save up more and more money, you upgrade and you upgrade and you upgrade and you upgrade. And all of a sudden, you're driving really nice cars. A lot of the guys that I talk to say the best cars to buy are cars that are about 3 to 4 years old. Drive them for about 4 to 5 years, sell them for what they're worth at the time, which, Toyota and Hondas hold their value quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, and save money this way and buy yourself and then upgrade and then upgrade and upgrade. And this is how people are, this is how smart people are doing it. You're making your money work for you. And then you're using it to buy a deal, get a deal on a car.
Yeah.
So this is how you get that started. Sell your car and your car payments, borrow the difference, plus a little bit more to buy yourself a good used reliable car for the next couple of years. Start to save that money, $300 a month, and now you're starting to pay cash for cars for the rest of your life. It works that simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, car payments. One way you can save here. Number one here. The second one, Jen, is $5. I mean, Starbucks. People say it's only $5 a day. Yes, It is.
Yeah.
And for most people, it's an unplanned $5 a day. That's where my problem is. It's usually unplanned for a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you plan to spend $5 a day, whatever, that's cool. You can do that. That's not a big deal. But it's when it's unplanned, I think is when we get into trouble.
Yeah, because chances are that $5 on coffee, on lunch, or whatever it is, should have had a job somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, the old adage, how do you waste $10,000 a year? By unconsciously spending $27.39 a day.
Wow.
Right. And what do I mean by unconsciously? What I mean is what most people do, Jen, is most people will swipe. Oh, it's $20. Swipe. Oh, it's $5. Swipe. And they keep swiping unconsciously, knowing how much they're spending throughout the month, throughout the year.
Yes.
Because most of us won't plan those $5 purchases. They're so small. They're not a big deal. They're a drop in the bucket. They're really not a big deal if you do it once.
Yeah.
When you do it again and again and again and again and again and again, that's when it starts to get expensive. But here's my next question, Jen. How do you waste $5.8 million?
Good Lord. I think I'd have a heart attack even considering that question. Wasting $5.8 million.
How do you waste $5.8 million?
Oh, actually, I know the answer. And it's sad. It's sad. From age 18 to 65, if you go get yourself coffee or $5 lunch, let's be honest,
there's no such thing as a $5 lunch anymore.
Okay.
You don't get a $5 lunch at McDonald's anymore.
That's true. I don't even eat there anymore because it's so expensive and I don't feel good after. Anyways, $5.65 a day turns into $169.50 a month. So that'll be the number. Can you plug that in?
Right there?
Yep, $169.50. Invested at 12%. 18 to 67. Sorry.
Oh, 67. Sorry, we're off by 2 years.
Sorry,
so
2 years.
To 65 is 4.6. You wait 2 more years, and that is 5.8. Wow. Over $1 million more just by waiting 2 more years.
Right?
Wow.
That's how you waste $5.8 million.
How many people have kids who are 18, 16, 20, 19, whatever here, that can easily make $169 a month?
Oh,
I mean,
right?
you should be able to make that without blinking. That's like you blink and that money's there.
Yeah.
This is how easy it is for your kids. And if you're watching this and you are young, this is how easy it is for you to be a multi-millionaire
Crazy.
over your lifetime. If
Yeah.
you've got
Just,
kids, make them watch this. $169 a month is all it takes. That's it.
yeah.
$169 million. Sorry, $169 a month to get $5.8 million.
Yeah.
And check this out, guys. Your total contributions are less than $100,000. Your total growth, $5.7 million is all growth.
Ah, I
So
love
what?
that.
So let me ask you guys: is the goal to make $1 million, or is the goal to become a millionaire? Two different questions
Yes.
and two different answers. The goal is for you to not to make $1 million, or I should say, the goal for you is not to grow $1 million. Because if you make $25,000 a year over 40 years, you're gonna have $1 million come through your hands. That's making $1 million. If you make $50,000 over 40 years, that's $2 million coming through your hands. So you're gonna have millions of dollars come through your hands. But is the goal to save $1 million or to have your savings grow to $1 million?
Yeah.
I submit to you, the goal is to have your savings grow to $1 million, and this is how you do it. This is how it's worked here. So $100,000 saved, $5.7 million grown. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's how you waste
Entire working
$5.8
lifetime.
million. Your working lifetime.
Yeah.
The time's gonna pass, as Jen likes to say. The time's gonna pass anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. So Starbucks, unconsciously spending $5 a day, $169 a month over 18 to 67. So whatever that time frame is, that's 45, about 49 years, I think that is. Here's another myth that people will believe here, Jen, and this one's a big one. Time is money.
Yes.
I submit to you right now that time is way more valuable than money. And let me show you how. Let's just say this is the last day of your life. This is it. This is it. You're done after today. And I come to you and I say, there's two questions I have for you. I can fulfill one wish. First thing is, I can make you a bazillionaire, give you $1 billion, $1 trillion, whatever you want. I'll put that in your bank account right now. Or two, I will give you more time. Which one are you going to pick?
Yeah, I'm picking time.
Yeah, which proves right there the time is vastly more valuable than money.
Yeah.
And so if time is more valuable than money, how do we get more time? Elon Musk hasn't figured that out yet. But if time is more valuable than money, and which I would agree when you look at an example like we just walked through here, that time is way more valuable than money. How do we get more time? Well, I think I'll say this: the goal maybe isn't to get more time, but the goal is to buy back our time.
I like that.
And we buy back our time by, guess what? Getting out of debt. Because when I'm not giving money to the banks, Jen, I get to keep more of my money.
Yeah.
And when I get to keep more of my money, guess what I get to do? Use that money to invest, use that money for vacations, use that money to buy back my time with my family.
Yeah.
Or whatever your goals are here. And so I submit to you that time is not money. Time is not more, but that time is more valuable than money.
Yeah.
And so how do we start to buy back more of our time? Number one is we get to keep more of our money. That's number one. When you don't give $625 a month away in interest payments, you now have $625 more in your pocket that you can use to start the progress to buying back more of your time. So number one is you get to keep more of your money. Number two is you start to use that money to grow more money. And basically what I'm saying here is you want your money to get pregnant and produce more money.
Yep.
And that's where it comes to number three is you start to invest. Invest that money, start to buy back our time. And so that example, again, $5.8 million takes $169 a month. And you get to start to buy back your time. Now you don't got to wait to be 67 to buy back your time. But this is just an extreme example of how much time can really work for you.
Yes.
I mean, let's talk about Freedom 55. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Remember when I talk Freedom 55, 18 to 55, $169 a month, $1.3 million. If you had $1.3 million, could you buy back your time?
Definitely.
This is how you buy back. I hope you guys are taking notes right now. This right here is this is $1 million lesson right now. My fear is because it's free, most people won't take action on it, Jen. Because let's be honest, free's always transformed our lives. We have free education. How many of us take advantage of that? Free public libraries. How much of us take advantage of that, right? Anyways, I'm going off on a rant, so I'm going to stop. 18 to 55, $169 a month gets you to 1.3, almost $1.4 million. This is how you buy back your time. I don't take that $1.4 million, pull it out and spend it on whatever I want. I use that money to now grow more money for me to live off year by year by year. Remember the goose that laid the golden egg? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I like that story.
My buddy, he's a farmer now. He bought a farm and all that stuff, and he's got a bunch of ducks and turkeys. And he's always talking about laying eggs and growing more chickens and all that stuff. But yes, the whole point was the goose that laid the golden egg. Every year that goose laid the owner a golden egg. The owner got greedy and said, I want more golden eggs, cut the goose open. And what was there not a lack of? There was a lack of golden eggs. There was no more golden eggs for the owner. Yeah. Your goose is this $1.3 million.
Yeah.
Your golden egg is the money it lays for you every year. And let's just say you average 10% at this point. 1 year difference, age 54 to 55. Okay. Maybe I'll do it this way, 55 to 56, because if you hit Freedom 55, this is what you get to do. Averaging 10% at $1.3 million. Every year, this will produce for you $145,000. Six-figure income for the rest of your life. If you do this right, this is how you buy back your time. Because guess what? When you make $145,000 a year with no debt, no payments, $1 million in the bank, you get to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. And this is how you buy back your time. For those that are in their mid-20s, starting from nothing, I think it takes roughly about $500 a month to get there now. Not quite, a little bit less than 500, maybe 450. A little bit less, maybe 400. Wow, even a little bit less, maybe 375. Look at that. There we go. 375, $1.3 million. Right. From age 25 to 55. What's that? 30 years?
Yep.
I'm doing that right. 30 years, 375 a month, averaging 12%, which is very doable. This is how you buy back your time. Freedom 55 is now not out of reach for you young people out there.
Yeah.
But it takes getting started and breaking the cultural myths and the limiting beliefs that are going to pull you down and keep you stuck.
Yeah.
But the truth is, time is infinitely more valuable than money. But you got to use money today to be able to buy back your time down that road.
Yes.
All right. So the belief that time is money. And what happens is people will trade their whole working lives to work a 40-hour week, 9 to 5. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they'll trade their whole trade their whole life working 9 to 5, their whole life, because they want to eventually make enough money, and they trade their time to try and make enough money through their whole lives. Very few get there, and then they're working their retirement years or their older years trying to continue to survive or make a living.
Yeah.
And you can buy back your time very fast if you'll learn how to invest and do it the right way. Okay.
Yep.
Enough about that. Here's the next one. So most people say, well, Mike, I get your concept. It makes sense. Mathematically, you're showing me exactly what to do. But the market is just too unpredictable. So I'd rather give my money to the banks in the form of certificates of depressions. I mean, CDs, certificates of deposits, GICs, high interest savings accounts. That's an oxymoron. I mean, Jen, have you seen the high interest savings account? I just got an offer from my bank, 1.4% high interest savings account.
Yeah.
I was like, have you checked inflation?
Yeah.
Inflation on average is 3 to 4%. I'm not even beating inflation in a high interest savings account. So we put our monies into the banks because they give us the safe option, because the stock market is too unpredictable.
Yeah. When
So
you're
that's a
thinking
myth.
long term, you're just
Say that
losing.
again.
When you're thinking long term, like you're just losing.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
losing. You continue to use CDs, GICs, and high interest savings accounts. You will lose. You will lose with the banks. See, here's what the banks don't tell you. You're worried about the stock market because you're worried about the risk of losing your money because the stock market, like right now, perfect example, the stock market has done this in the last 6 months. It's nosedive the last 6 months. And so it's been a big jump down for a lot of people. However, long term, it's doing this.
Yeah.
So you may see this right now, short term in a 5 to 6 month span, but long term, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, it's doing this.
Yeah. It's just climbing.
See, 2008 did this as well. And when I look on the charts at 2008 looks like a small blip because it did this. It was like, boop, and just went straight up.
Yeah.
Know this, 80% of the time, the stock market is on the rise. Also know this truth here that the stock market will fall faster than it rises. It will always rise. It will always rise higher than it falls. So if you can understand those two truths, you'll be able to bust this limiting belief. And I'll say it again. The stock market always drops faster than it rises. So you'll see a big drop happen in 2, 3, 4 months faster than it will grow in 2, 3, 4 months. However, long-term, the stock market will always rise higher than it falls. And if you understand those two tips when it comes to investing in the market, you'll start to understand that a market's actually a great place to grow your money long-term.
Yeah.
When we talk about 12% on those examples we give here, it's because the market has averaged 10 to 11.7%.
Yeah.
So that's the myth. And so what the banks don't tell you here is you run the risk of outliving your money. You get to retirement, you don't have enough money. Life continues to get expensive like it is. And you run the risk of outliving your money. That's the risk the banks won't tell you. Because if they told you that and they showed you what we show you here, you would say, no way, that's not a good deal.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you that. And they don't show you that, they don't educate you around the market, and they put you in a GIC at 2%. Meanwhile, inflation's 3.5%.
Yeah.
You're losing money every day. So
stock market
is a good place. Obviously, you have to understand it. Work with an advisor who understands it, can help you through it. Don't recommend everyone doing it themselves. But a good team member, a good player to have on your team is a financial advisor who can help you grow your money so that when you need it, you hit Freedom 55 and you never have to worry about money again. You create that freedom in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's number 4. So number 1, guys, is car payments. The myth of car payments are a good way to manage your money. They're not. Number 2 is unconscious spending. So we joked about $5, Starbucks. We joked about spending money every day on food and all that stuff. Unconscious spending is costing people more money than they fully understand. How many people, Jen, do we work with that when we get them to do the cash flow plan the way that we teach it, in month 1, they find more money because they're like, holy cow, I did not realize how much I was spending here, and here. I don't want to do that anymore.
Oh yeah. Month 1 is like mind-blowing discoveries for, I would say, 99% of the people we work with, and they revisit the end of the month when we're kind of, wrapping it up, and they're like, I didn't realize how much money I spent on,
$5
fun.
Yeah.
right?
On things that ever, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if you're thinking of this castle plan as a boat, they've identified like 50 holes.
In the boat that they
Like,
need to fix fast. Yeah.
yeah,
That's a great
exactly.
example. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great example. And it's like, it's so true. Like we're emotional beings. This is why when people say, oh, mathematically, Mike, we're going to figure this out. I just need to make more money. It's like, I talked to someone yesterday, they make $10,000 a month.
Mm,
They've been in debt for 20 years.
that's a long time.
If mathematics was at play here, you wouldn't go into debt to begin with. At least, I'll give you a pass on mortgages, but let's talk consumer debt, credit cards,
Yeah.
lines of credits, all that stuff. You wouldn't go into debt because it never makes sense to pay 20%.
Yeah.
That's not a good return on your money to pay 20%. Right.
No.
And so
But dang, if you were earning it.
hey, if you're earning it, freedom 25. Right. Like you wouldn't have to do much to get there. But it's like we're emotional beings. And if we until we understand that, we will be delusioned in terms of getting debt free, staying debt free, becoming wealthy. It's not just about becoming debt free. That's one point in the plan.
Yeah.
Becoming debt free, staying debt free, learning how to create freedom in your life. Usually that involves becoming wealthy, having money to be able to do that. Sometimes starting a business will get you there too. But until we understand that we're emotional beings and it's an emotional problem, not a mathematical problem, there's a good chance you will always be stuck. There's a good chance when you come into a lot of money, it's going to disappear. Because we emotionally spend our money. We don't mathematically spend our money. We mathematically put the plan together, but we emotionally spend it. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. And then the last one here is the cost of not knowing, or the cost of uneducation, however you want to call it. Jen, let me ask you this. What are the two most expensive things in your life? And everyone that's listening, I want you to think about and answer the two most expensive things in your life.
Do children count?
Is that what you think is most expensive?
I think, yeah, I would say the children are most expensive.
Okay.
And probably the cost of like my household, like running my household, like
those are good answers.
like food, right? Like food and utilities.
Those are decent answers. And everyone that's listening, if you put those as your answers, you're wrong. Okay, so if you answered taxes.
Oh, taxes.
Okay, here we go. I think Jen gets it now.
I gotta think outside the box.
Pardon?
Yeah. I gotta think outside the box.
Yeah. Well, tax is a real expense in your life.
Yeah.
You pay income taxes. Okay. You pay property taxes. You pay taxes when you go to buy food. You pay taxes when you fill up for gas. You pay taxes on your utilities. You pay taxes when you die. Most Canadians, most Americans, over their lifetime, if you track how much taxes you're giving away, I submit that most people will pay over 50% in taxes.
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Yeah. I throw up every day when I think about that. So and that's number two. That's not even that's not number one. Number two is taxes. Over your lifetime, taxes will be one of the biggest things you pay here. And so one of the best ways to avoid taxes is I find most people start a business.
Yep.
We're not talking about that today, so I'm not going to talk about starting a business. Number two is learning how to invest in tax deferred, tax advantage investments.
Yep.
So that you pay less taxes. Here's the truth. If you grow let's just say you become a millionaire like the way we teach here, and you do it the conventional way, when you die, if you've got $1 million, half that money the government takes. Half. You've worked hard your whole life. You pay taxes on your income. You pay taxes on your property. If you have property, you pay taxes on utility, your food, pay taxes on everything. Then when you die, after you've done well growing wealth, the government takes half. If you invest it their way. There's other ways to invest where you don't give the government anything. And these are legal. These are legal ways. Well, this isn't like under the board. These are legal ways, tax advantage investing. So number one is you got to learn to avoid taxes. Businesses are a great way to do it. Tax advantage investing is another great way to do it. Okay. The number one most expensive thing you're going to have in your life. You know what this is?
No.
Not knowing how to become debt free in the next 24 months.
That makes total sense.
Does it?
It does.
Because of the example we just showed you at the very beginning.
Yes.
You think you're paying $625 a month, but it was costing you $4 million your lifetime.
Yeah.
At minimum, let's just say you're like, haha, Mike, we got out of debt. It took us 7 years. We're out. Okay, let's just say that's you. I know most people that's not the case, but let's just say you're a maverick here and that's you. And you're like, haha, Mike, your example doesn't work. Check this out. Again, 1 to 8, 7 years old, right? Or 7 years. $625 a month at 12% costs us $81,000. Okay, right? Actually, we'll do this 30 to 38 just to get real life here. So 38, same example, same number is going to show up, I think. No, hold on, what's going on here?
Make it 37. That'll fix
that's
it.
right. My bad.
Yeah,
37. Boom. Yeah, 1 year difference brings you almost $100,000. Wow. Right? Look at that. Okay. So let's just say you were the maverick and you got out, because here's what I know to be true. Most people plan to be debt free way sooner than they ever get debt free.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just I call it the hypnotic denial syndrome. We think we're going to do things a lot faster than we do.
Yeah.
And so let's just say you actually do this, but here's the cost, because $81,670. And let's just say you never invested another dime for the rest of your life from age 37 to 6. I'm going to go 65. I don't even know what the number is going to be. 37 to 65. You never invested another dime in your life, but that $81,000 just continued to grow. What do you think the number is going to be, Jen?
I
don't know either. I'm going to go millions. Let's find out. Oh, $2 million. So I submit to you, the biggest cost to your finances right now is you not knowing how to get debt free in the next 24 months, regardless if you got 6 figures of debt, $50,000 of debt, 30, 20, I don't care how much debt you have. Not knowing how to get debt free and stay debt free for the rest of your lives. Because in this example, it took you 7 years. So let me roll this back here to Jen. Let me know if I'm doing this right. I'm going to roll it back 5 years to 33.
From 37, 32.
32, my bad. Yeah, you're right. Because most people will do it in 24 months. With us, here's the difference in the opportunity costs. You do it, within 7 years yourself, $2.3 million. If you do everything right, you do it the way that we teach, you get it out in 24 months. So you got that extra 5 years of growth. Watch this. 4.2. Anyways, the real cost here, number one, is not knowing how to get debt free fast enough and stay debt free once you get there. Number two is the amount of taxes you're going to pay on those investments once you start growing them. There is a way to do it where you don't pay taxes, but that's a whole another ninja stuff we don't have time for today. Okay. Yeah. But understand this, Jen, and everyone listening, everybody pays. There isn't one person listening to this. There's one person on this earth who doesn't pay. And you're either going to pay to learn or you're going to pay to not know. And the great thing about investing is the price of an investment, the price to pay to learn is paid once. The price to not know is paid daily, and it's paid painfully every single day. So here's the truth, guys. If you are so done with living this way, living with credit card debt, giving whatever you're giving, $500 a month, $1,000, you do the math, whatever you're giving away this year. Most people I found will give away about $10,000 on average in interest payments to the banks. They give $10,000 to the bank every year in interest payments.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, I know what to do. I'm going to do it. It's like, please give me a break. Give yourself a break. The price to not know how to fix this problem is costing you your time, your freedom, your opportunity to create freedom in your life. If you're ready to get out of the pit of poverty or whatever you want to call it, the pit of fear, the pit of overwhelm, the pit of despair, the pit of not knowing what to do, and get to the pinnacle of holy cow, we're going to win. Hop on a call with us. Okay. 15-minute call. There's no sales pitches. It's really to sit down and say, hey, can we help you? Does Coach Neil believe that we can actually help you become that next success story? And if we can't, that's cool. We're not right for everybody. We know that. But we know for the ones that we can help, it's literally changing and transforming their lives. You've seen many times, Jen.
Yeah.
How many lives have been changed in the last year?
Yeah, dozens.
And so if this is pulling at you, if you're ready to actually have a real change, if you try this on your own for the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever it is, if you keep saying to yourself, this year we're going to do it, I'm going to use my bonus to pay off debt, and you just find yourself back in the same spot, this is the year and the time for you to get there. So hop on that call. There's no sales pitches. I'm not even going to make you an offer. If you send me money, I'm going to return it back to you, because we're not making you an offer on that call. We really want to see, how can we help? How can we help get you moving forward in the right direction? If we can help, then let's walk through what's not working in your finances. Let's walk through, where do you want to go if you could solve this problem once and for all? And let's see if we can put a plan together to help get you moving forward. That's awesome. It. And you could be that next success story of the average person paying off $15,000 right now that works with us in 3 to 6 months. Some are doing more, some are doing less, but that's what the average person is doing right now. So if that intrigues you, if you want to buy back your time and stop just giving it away, if you want to start, have money work for you and not against you, then hop on moneycoachmike.com/15. You'll hop on a call with me or Coach Neil. We'll hop on here, take a look at what's working, what's not working, and see how we can really get you moving forward. Any last words of wisdom, Jen?
Oh, guys, you are not destined to stay in this pit of poverty. Nobody was designed for that. You don't have to stay there. So if you need some help, reach out. This is what we love to do. We love to help you get out of the pit that we once found ourselves in. You don't have to stay. Very much true.
The pit that we were once in. Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we love you guys. Hope this helps. Comment below. Tell us what you think here, what you're feeling. And hey, if you want to win, hop on that call, moneycoachmike.com/15. And let's see how we can get you moving forward here and get you moving in the right direction. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.